I'm a little speechless. This is moving faster than I thought. I just posted a video 2 days ago. Before I even start working today, I want to go ahead and get this information out to you guys as quickly as possible. So do me a favor, watch this video from start to finish and hit that like button for me. I'm going to keep you guys posted. I'm going to keep you updated. My news feeds are blowing up right now about what's going on, about what happened last night. But I would say that today's video is one of the biggest updates that I have ever done on this channel regarding EPA news. So Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator, just announced the repeal of the 2009 endangerment findings. And if you know what that is, this actually changes everything. But the biggest update from the last video that I posted is now we have sort of a timeline. I was kind of playing the guessing game about when we'll receive an answer, maybe at the end of this year, maybe in the beginning of next year. But no, this is the big update. 45 days, guys. So I'm going to keep you posted. We have 45 days. As a matter of fact, from yesterday, so we have 44 days. We're going to know something. But I'm going to go ahead and break down what the ruling means, what happens in the 45-day waiting period, and also what this could mean for diesel deletes, DEF systems, and emissions laws nationwide. And I mean nationwide. And before we jump right into this, from today's sponsor, it's going to be truckmasterdiesel.com, my personal website. Check us out. We sell diesel truck parts for your Duramax, Powerstroke, and Cummins. If you guys want to pick up a turbo, a lift pump, rims, piping kits, YouTube merch, like Celebrating Freedom. New American flags just hit on the website. But either way, we'll leave a link in the description as well as the comments below. But let's go ahead and jump right into this.
As it relates to greenhouse gas emission standards on light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty, it doesn't reset anything. It eliminates everything. This proposed rule is a proposal to eliminate the endangerment finding, to eliminate greenhouse gas standards, all the regulations that came out, including the electric vehicle mandates, all of the greenhouse gas standards for light, medium, and heavy duty.
But what is the endangerment findings? Let me go ahead and explain that really quick. So back in 2009, the EPA declared that the greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, were a public threat to the climate as well as your health. And that ruling is called the endangerment findings, and it gives the federal government the power to regulate emissions from vehicles, power plants, and even your small businesses. So that's kind of what that is. But that's important because it led directly to the diesel exhaust fluid systems, the diesel particulate filters. And I would say the biggest impact on this for us, the diesel community, is the fact that it made it illegal for us to remove that stuff. It's now illegal by the federal government. But here's the crazy part, and this is as of yesterday, guys. Lee Zeldin stood behind a podium and announced the EPA is officially repealing the endangerment findings. I'm going to go ahead and leave that whole news clip at the end of this video, so watch till the end so you guys can hear it from the horse's mouth. He was basically talking about government overreach, outdated science, and political motives in a sense. So check that out. But what does that actually mean? So in short, the EPA is just going to back away from regulating CO2. That's basically what's going on. But here's the thing, a lot of influencers, again, are going to be pushing out false information, and I want to go ahead and get right to this. But it isn't done yet. It's not a done deal yet. Like I said in the beginning, we have 45 days, 44 days. I'm counting down. But what is the 45-day waiting period? So after a rule like this is proposed, the federal law requires a waiting period, and that's where the 45-day number comes in, and it's called the public comment period. I talked about this in my last video. We just didn't have an actual day time period yet, so now we have it. But basically, the EPA opens the repeal up for comments from citizens, companies, of course, scientists, and yep, even activists in environmental groups. So you guys see where that's going to go. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. There's already people irate about this, and I cannot wait to hear their crying. And again, I'm going to set the record straight. We all love to breathe clean air. We love to drink clean water. We like to have a clean environment. But man, the science just isn't there. It's a different time. It's a different period. I don't want to go on a rant. Let me go ahead and get to the subject here. But basically, I want to emphasize something. From my understanding, this is kind of how this goes. After the comment period, the EPA can finalize the rule, which they are. I mean, let's be honest. This has already been a thing. It's already been pushed. Our president 100% fully backs Lee Zeldin. So I'm pretty positive that this is going to pass. And let's get real, this is what everyone's basically talking about. This is what we're waiting for. Does this mean diesel deletes are legal again? Man, this is huge. The answer is not yet, but we're getting really close. And like I said, I just posted a video 2 days ago with the latest and greatest updated news, and this is moving way faster than I could have even imagined. And as far as I'm concerned, I think this is a done deal. I think this is already in the bag. You guys will hear it from Mr. Zeldin himself. I'll leave that in the end of this video, like I said. But he's not messing around. He's not playing around. This is over. As of right now, is it illegal? Yes, it's illegal to delete your truck. But I see a huge shift, not just in the diesel market, also for the gassers. Matter of fact, we just introduced a gasoline 5.3 liter 2017 pickup truck on our channel. And by the time I start this series, I'm gonna have no problem tuning this truck on camera. But either way, and here's the thing, as of right now, as of 15 years ago, as of 2009 until now, with the endangerment findings in place, the EPA's only standing as far as going after diesel shops, individuals, is because of the endangerment findings. So with this gone, that's not going to be a thing. It's going to be no more. It's going to be over. Once this finalizes, I'm going to have some funny decals on my website so you can put it on your truck, man. I am pumped about this. It's a thing of the past. That's what's going to end up happening. By the end of this year, it's going to be a thing of the past. But I did want to talk about California, some of the liberal states, I guess now Nevada, New York. Let's talk about those really quick here. What does this mean for them? So this repeal could affect Section 209 of the Clean Air Act. I think you guys have heard about that already. But in short, it basically means that it lets California make its own strict emission rules. And if that completely goes away, states like California, New York, what else? Colorado, they also might lose the power to enforce emissions inspections after aftermarket restrictions. And this also can open the door for federal freedom, as well as that bill HR 4117 passing sooner than we thought. So a lot of good stuff happening across all 50 states. I sell aftermarket parts, performance parts on my website. One thing that really ties my hands is shipping to the state of California. Actually, I just got an email yesterday from a customer wanting some parts, but unfortunately, we still cannot legally ship parts to them because of their rules, because of their laws. So if you're from California and you want to modify your vehicle and you can't buy certain things on the internet because it's restricted because you live in that communist state, well, the doors are about ready to go wide open for you. So get excited about this, you guys from California as well. And I talked about this in the last video, but I do know that legal challenges are going to come out of this. The crybabies, activists, whatever you want to call them, are already filing lawsuits. And you already know a lot of states are going to be fighting back on this one. It's going to be a battle. 45 days is going to move quicker than you think, though. But what actually happens next here? So this is the big one. So the EPA will open the repeal for public comment, and that's your 45-day window. And then after that, they'll review the feedback, then publish a final rule. And that's if they stick with the repeal, but that's not the end. We already know that lawsuits will flood in the courts. We already know that. And some may actually try to stop repeal before it becomes official. And I can only imagine if this doesn't stop, it will probably go to the Supreme Court. And I'm going to quickly talk about what we can do for that. But Congress will try to pass a law to reinstate the endangerment findings to create brand new emissions rules. So if you think that this is completely over, it's not, okay? But the tide is turning. It is moving in our favor for some of you guys that watch this channel and you are like-minded like it's moving in our favor. I've done a ton of research on this, and they're going to make it extremely hard for the next administration to try to reinstate this. It's going to be almost impossible. It's going to be so hard. It's going to take so many years for them to try to reinstate this. So if this passes, it's going to be huge. What should I do at this level? I mean, I'm just a little guy. I'm just sitting back reading news articles and reading bills and stuff like that. I mean, if it was you or me, what can we do as truck owners? But if you're a diesel owner or a vehicle owner that likes to modify vehicles, or you're just kind of in that hobby and you sort of want to get your voice heard, here's what you can do right now. I would say stay legal. That's, of course, one thing. Until this repeal is finalized and survives court, the laws are still in effect. Also, make your voice heard. I'm going to be doing the same exact thing. You could submit your own public comment to the EPA. Tell them how these rules have affected your truck and your wallet, of course, and if you own a business. I know this is impacting businesses for the last decade now, the endangerment findings, how big of a deal this is and how bad the economy is because of the endangerment findings. And I think that's another reason why our president and the EPA want to get together. They've overemphasized energy dominance. They've talked about making our economy stronger, things like that. Well, this is one way to do it. It's not just modifying your vehicle. This is a huge thing. And on a tangent here, I think we're smart enough to finally dial these diesel trucks in without the use of emissions equipment to burn cleaner, to burn more efficient, to allow these vehicles to last longer. You guys see where I'm coming from. Let the aftermarket automotive industry open its wings. No more government overreach. Let them dive into the science. They've already used it for the military, our government, the beast. When we were conducting missions in Iraq, Afghanistan, driving Max Pro's gun trucks through villages, those trucks didn't have emissions on them, man. I remember rolling coal on villagers just for crowd control. I'm not kidding. If this does pass, and I think it will, don't ruin it for the rest of us, guys. Don't roll coal. Don't do it. I mean, if you're going to do it out on a back road somewhere. I mean, come on, guys. We're smart enough to read the room. I think we've learned from our past mistakes. Let's not ruin it for the rest of us. So that's that right there. I'm speaking to you guys. Also, another really important thing, pay attention to your state laws, guys, during this time. Even if the feds do back off, it's important to stay up to date with the enforcement of your local laws, of course. And I'm also curious about what's going on with SB 60, I believe, in the state of Nevada. If you don't know what that is, look that up. That's kind of a big one. That one should just completely go away. It should be completely wiped off the map. But let's be honest, as of yesterday, this is a pretty historic moment for vehicle owners that like to modify their vehicle, gas and diesel. Truck lovers, diesel owners, you name it. And anyone sick of government overreach as well. That's also a big one. The endangerment finding is on its way out, and we're just 45 days away from a new error. So if this one sticks, we can finally see the end of the, we'll just say, blanket emission enforcement, I guess is kind of where I'm getting at. It's going to be gone. It's going to be over. Goodbye. But here's what I want you guys to do. Of course, smash the like button for me. Subscribe if you believe in diesel freedom, and then, of course, drop a comment. And tell me, should diesel deletes be legal again? I know some people are going to be very indifferent. I want to read your comments. Entries are live on the truckmasterdiesel.com website, so pick up something, pick up some merch, pick up a hat, key tag. If you guys want to upgrade, pick up a lift pump, turbo, lift kit, whatever. We sell thousands of truck parts on that website. So support us, check us out. I'll leave that link again in the comments below as well as the description. But that is it, my friends. Stay tuned, stay free, stay loud. We'll see you on the next one.
Other big story today, really the eyes of the nation were on Indiana because Washington, D.C. came to the crossroads of America for a major announcement from the EPA.
The Environmental Protection Agency. So that announcement involved a significant reversal on how the U.S. looks at climate change and what contributes to it. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker was actually there for the announcement. Emily, what did you learn?
Well, if this proposal is finalized, the head of the EPA says it will mark the largest deregulatory action in the history of the United States. And it involves getting rid of the limits that are in place right now on how much greenhouse gas can come out of cars, trucks, and factories. And that announcement made this afternoon by the U.S. EPA Administrator, the U.S. Secretary of Energy, and Governor Mike Braun, along with other Indiana leaders, all against the backdrop of truck manufacturer Kenworth of Indianapolis. The limits the EPA is proposing to eliminate came in 2009 as part of something called the endangerment finding. It declared that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases endanger public health, and it's been the legal basis for all kinds of climate regulations on motor vehicles and power plants under the Clean Air Act. This proposal would roll that back.
As it relates to greenhouse gas emission standards on light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty, it doesn't reset anything. It eliminates everything. This proposed rule is a proposal to eliminate the endangerment finding, to eliminate greenhouse gas standards, all the regulations that came out, including the electric vehicle mandates, all of the greenhouse gas standards for light, medium, and heavy duty.
Environmental groups and Democrats have said repealing the endangerment finding will be difficult. It was put in place 2 years after a 2007 ruling from the United States Supreme Court. That ruling said the EPA has the authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions as air pollutants under the Clean Act. And the EPA administrator today, he criticized what happened after that Supreme Court ruling, saying an extremely creative and unprecedented spin was put on the Clean Air Act to get all of these regulations that we now see in place about greenhouse gas emissions. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we're going to have reaction from an environmental group and a Democratic lawmaker about today's announcement, and we'll tell you what the EPA says will happen next with this proposal.
Oh, so some heavy hitters and a huge announcement here in Indianapolis.
Right.
Why here?
Well, they talked about the history of the automotive industry here in Indiana, also the trucking industry. Both industries have been impacted by the regulations on greenhouse gas emissions. So that's why they wanted to do it against that backdrop.
In the crossroads of America.
There you go. All right, Emily, thank you. We'll see you again at 6 o'clock.